John Collins kind of leads into the Kyle Lowry rumors because I don't. It wouldn't be a straight up Kyle Lowry for John Collins trade if the Raptors did want to go after John Collins. It would probably be Lowry to either Miami or Philly, and then those assets would be on the way to the Hawks to get Collins.
Yeah.
So if it weren't the Wolves, I only see maybe the Raptors, maybe the Mavericks as like a John
Hmm.
Collins destination. I If we're gonna trade Kyle Lowry, if the Raptors are gonna move Lowry, Collins is the guy I want in return. I think he'd be kind of perfect. They're running the small ball lineup recently with Pascal at the five, and I think you can just double down on that by getting John Collins. It'd be really fun to see. I think can be a better defender with a good coach like Nick Nurse than he has shown in his career.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that happens for the Raptors, but probably between the Raptors, like you said, Wolves.
The teams interested in are just championship teams. The Heat, the Clippers, the Sixers.
Sixers.
The Clippers, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Sixers are by far the favorite, and that's because Thibault, Maxi, picks, like they could offer all of those and get him pretty convincingly. Danny Green would match the cap, and you would have a great player on your team. I think that pushes them to the Nets. Like in my opinion, this is what brings them back to the Nets. Like right now, the Nets have gone clear, but I think with Kyle Lowry, they're back there, right back in contention.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he's gone. I think the way he's talking, I'm gonna retire one day as a Raptor.
Yeah.
I am not releasing these reports, right? I think he's just trying to show that, hey, I'm not demanding a trade.
Mm-hmm.
The team is looking to trade me though. Just know it's not coming from my demand. It's not because me as Kyle Lowry is like, get me out of here. It's because the team feels it's the best move. And that's kind of the reports that are coming out. He's just trying to be like, hey, don't let this media convince that like me and the Raptors fans have a bad blood or whatever. He's trying to make it clearly evident that it's the team's choice, not his choice. And I think it's the right choice by the team too. I think if you get a guy like Porzingis or John Collins who's younger, who come in at that five spot, it does help the team out more for the future. And I think it's time to move on. We let Kyle Lowry go chase another championship, and we get another young guy who can maybe help the Fred VanVleet Siakam duo.
I mean, it's the smart move, but Kyle
Yeah,
Lowry is the greatest Raptor of all time, and I mean, he's making $30 million a year this year. That's probably like slightly more than he's actually worth, but he's he's still a borderline all-star caliber player. He's what, 34 years old. He's going to be demanding at least $20 million a year next year over like a 2 or 3 year
yeah,
deal, which I think is completely fair for him. I don't think the Raptors are in the position to be matching that kind of money. So it
getting that.
probably makes sense for both
Yeah,
sides. Move him to a contender, let him compete for another championship, uh, and then let him sign wherever he wants, play another 2 3 years, and then retire. Maybe even play his last year with the Raptors, or if it's just a 1 day. Yeah, but like you said,
just a one day.
yeah, I like Maxi. I like Thibault. I like kind of like Precious
Porzingis,
Achua. I obviously I like Porzingis, but if it's Porzingis or Collins, I'm all in on that, even though it hurts. If I'm just getting those like Maxi Thibault types, that's nice. It's good for depth. I would like to see what Nick Nurse could get out of like non second round or undrafted guys. Like it's been a while since he actually worked with someone like that. So that'd
yeah,
be pretty interesting. But I would want to go for one of those bigger names.
yeah, and getting into the lottery this year might not be the worst thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you always have a chance of getting that number one pick, and if we do get a ninth seed, lose the play in, and we get the number one seed, I
Yep.
mean number one pick, like that's a huge dub on the Raptors' part, right? I think missing the playoffs this year and just having that 1% chance of getting the number one pick is more worth it than being a first round exit because Kate Cunningham's special. I just want 1% chance at Kate Cunningham, even if that makes us the ninth seed, right?
Yeah.
And I think losing Kyle Lowry, like I'm not penciling this team in for a playoff spot, losing Kyle Lowry anymore. So I'm down. I'm all in for it, man. Let him go win his championship with Philly, or at least try. Let us get some young guys and that maybe a number one pick. You never know. And then let's just retool next year and see what happens next year with the prospect, the pick, everything, and our guys getting one more year of experience being the main dogs, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the last three first round picks, I believe, that the Raptors had, because they traded their pick away the last couple of seasons, or Malachi Flynn last year, but Pascal Siakam they took with like the 20 something pick. They took
Yeah,
Pirtle in that same draft. He's like kind of decent, but OG Anunoby, the
starter.
Raptors, yeah, he's starting for the Spurs who are in a playoff position. The Raptors hit on their picks. Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster hit on their picks. I can't even imagine what they would do with a top 10 pick. I do really want to see that happen. So, and if they do trade Kyle Lowry, that is probably going to be the scenario. It would be a nice change up, and I think even though they would be in the top 10, this team wouldn't be that far away from kind of being right back in the playoffs with a decent young player. We got Van Vliet, Siakam, all those guys. Obviously, yeah, it's sad, but I do agree with you. It's probably the right move to make as an organization.
Yeah, and someone like Norman Powell has to start. I think he's scoring 18
Yeah,
points a game,
yeah,
and he just sucks off the bench. Let's be frank. Like he's not the same player off the bench. He needs to start. He needs to get the flow of the game
yeah,
right off the bat. And
yeah.
he's a player that like you really can't start at small forward, and
No,
you can't start. You really shouldn't be starting Fred VanVleet as shooting guard. So maybe moving Kyle Lowry is just a positional need that we right now say we're not making the playoffs without him. But maybe those guys just play way better as point guard and shooting guard than as shooting guard and small forward because they're back in their natural positions and natural height. So you
I
never
mean,
know. This Raptors team, they have a lot. They have a lot going on right now.
they have a really good record without Kyle Lowry over the last 2 or 3 years. It's kind of surprising, but yeah, like you said, it allows Van Vliet to play his natural position. Like you said, Powell is not the type of guy who you can treat as a sixth man, because you don't just give him the ball, say, get me a bucket.
Yeah,
He just, he runs off screens, he gets open in the corner, makes good cuts. He doesn't dribble it out a lot, doesn't really like play make or survey the defense or anything like that. So he needs to play off other creators and scores. That's why he plays whenever he goes in the starting lineup. He's good for 20 to 25 points. So maybe that would be,
yeah.
something that they something that would actually benefit the team. Maybe they still would make the playoffs, but yeah, we'll see. Thanks for watching. Listen to the Stretch the Floor podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on Instagram.